Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded match on Golden Heights. We're playing Tribune as the Delhi Sultanate, and so on Golden Heights, the big thing is that we usually go for water, and your opponents usually go for water. And because our opponents usually go for water, try to go for a fast stable to deny this. Kind of mess up my build order here. You're supposed to send 2 on the wood, 3 on the sheep, and 1 to build a stable. Instead I sent 5 onto the stable, everybody else onto the sheep, and now I'm pulling 2 onto wood. So definitely not an ideal build order here. But we'll see what happens here. Usually when you do this correctly, your first horseman's coming out at the 1 minute 15 mark, I believe. So it's close actually. It's pretty close. So not a huge difference. The time that you save on the stable production is nice. But over here we're scouting out our opponent and we don't see any docks. We drop a arrow here and we don't see any docks. And this is at the timing you directly head over that you should be seeing a villager head over. So we're gonna send a horseman over to his base, see if we can't harass his gold. Because he's not going for docks. And it kind of puts us in a little bit of an awkward spot. If he had gone docks, we would definitely be ready to go a lot further ahead. Over here, he spots our Khan, who falls back off of his gold. And I didn't realize, this is actually a really big mistake, I didn't realize that he didn't have enough gold for aging up. I didn't click on it. I could have denied this gold a lot more proactively. I kept them in Dark Age. Because I've got the wood for villager pull to drop a tower, so that's definitely a big thing here. We're going to throw Vision on. He's gathering up wood right now for a barracks. And then from there he's got to get some wood for a horse or for a spearman, so yeah, we were definitely in a really good spot to keep him in Dark Age for a while here. We just didn't realize it, unfortunately. This villager are carrying over to build a dock. If we had sent him over earlier, he'd be almost here and he'd be almost building. We could have sent a couple villagers over, for sure, just to expedite the building process, and we could probably start building a tower right about now. So definitely a little bit of a mistake on our part. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. Behind this, we went into the scout. He's just going to pull off. We send a couple of horsemen try to chase him down, but we don't intercept. He does make a spearman, and we just have to fall back here. We're not going to fight this. And he's getting enough gold for 8 coming up. So he's going to age up. But the big thing is we've got a dock. We're getting fishing shape. So we're basically on 2 TC now. So we're in a really good spot in terms of our macro over our opponent. And our he's messed up his macro somewhere along the way because he's down a lot of villagers besides he's down a villager besides the 2 fishing boats. So that's a pretty big deal considering that he is Delhi. So he's still aging up. Going to slow it down to 2 times now. We're trying to find, here a little bit of harass with our Khan, trying to see what's happening. And we did drop our scouting falcon. As you can see, we can see the stable. We can see the barracks. So we know that there's going to be Ghazi Raiders coming out, and possibly more spearmen. That's what he's doing here. Behind this, we've gone, and we've still got plenty of fishing ships, and our eco is way ahead at this point now. We got a really big difference in eco here, so this is so yeah, it's a really big difference at this point. It's pretty significant. We put a couple more vills to start collecting the deer over here. I should have dropped the tower, to be honest. I think in part is because my fishing ship production was still a little bit tight. We tried to scout with our Khan, we unfortunately get picked off. But we do have a nice little massive horseman here. With his spearman pushing, we do have to fall back. I feel like he could have been a lot more proactive with his spearman. This Gazi Raider gets some big damage in. I didn't even realize that this was coming in because I was looking at this. So it's a really big mistake on my part, but we do get a light junk out and it shreds this Gazi Raider. So he's got to fall back, and we do lose 3 villagers here. So now I mean, he equalized us a little bit, but we're way ahead because of our fishing ship counter at this point, which is again really big. We do have a Keshik in our army now, and we are building some more Keshiks, and we're just trying to poke and prod where we can, do a little bit of damage, but we can't really commit here because we don't have Mangonite to support this cav. We could probably win that fight against this Spearman, but again, it's really all-in-y, far from ideal. Possibly worth it, just because in terms of, like, we shut down his wood, we shut down his gold. But, I mean, yeah, it's very all-in-y type of a play. Definitely not worth it. Now with a couple catching, it's a lot easier to pull off, but it's definitely not the best. Now that we have Mangonite support, though, it's going to be a little bit easier to harass here. Unfortunately, he does a good move here and he drops the power, which is really going to affect our Mangonite presence. Not so much our cavalry. Calv can tank those arrows pretty easy. The big thing is the Mangonite under tower gets shredded pretty bad. We are building a forward tower on this spear, trying to see, and I thought they were Gazi Raiders for some reason. I didn't realize those were scouts. The Gazi Raiders look really similar to scouts. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to tell the difference sometimes. More villagers onto deer. And we're just trying to run off the base, trying to get some damage in, but we do lose a villager, then try to tower fall forward. We do a little bit of harass, but we can't do too much with that power there without Cow. And he can commit to his burn down. Unfortunately, this tower, I don't know why, but in general, like, Mangonite towers like to focus on scouts. And it's pretty aggravating, especially for, like, the Mangonite. But it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. The advantage, you can't really micro them per se while you're running, only once you're stopped. It's a little bit of a skirmish here, but you can see our eco numbers wise, we're way ahead. We do have some idols. Not entirely sure where. And we have a nice mass. Our military mass is bigger than his, and it's more expensive because it's all cav. So once we build the perfection of spearmen, this is like I said, the cav can tank this pretty easily, and it's almost always worth putting down this tower. And we lose a couple of cav here, but I think it's definitely worth it to keep him off of gold. Also, his villager count is now down to sub 30, and he kind of stays at pretty much at this 30 level throughout the rest of the game. I am speeding it up a bit because at this point the game is pretty much over, I would say. It'd be really difficult for him to come back from this, and he does try pretty hard too. He's trying to pick up beer, bring him back to the base. He's definitely giving it a good go, but it's just not there's just a huge discrepancy in terms of eco right now. And our fishing ships are doing long distance shore fishing, which isn't the best, but it is consistent, which is nice. And once they finish that, though, I have enough ships to rotate onto. We have 9 fishing ships, so 3 per deep sea fish. So that should be enough to not oversaturate it. You know, maybe 10 is better, but I know for sure 3 per is doable. So again, we burned up the tower. He's using a bunch of villagers here. Yeah, I'm keeping him around the 30 villager count. And he's gone up in age, so he's getting men-at-arms out. But I know once he's up in age, the big thing that he's going to be hurting for is gold. And he also realizes this and does a really good job in picking up relics. He's already got 2 relics, so he did a really good job of picking up relics. And he's walling off his base, and we did go up a step redoubt. Kill Kite would have been nice to keep like just a constant pressure, like zone under him. But we didn't want to like super commit, and I was more worried about making sure I had sufficient gold income here. So that's what we're gonna do. Our eco is double his, our army is double his, army count is triple, or army value is triple. And yeah, we're just raiding where we can. We probably could have stopped and fought this army. We just wanted to keep his army occupied and pull through while we burn down over here this wall. Again, our cav is just coming in, killing what we can, burning down civilians. I really should have burned down this boss back here. We go for the stable to make sure he's not better than more units. And I mean, the match at this point is pretty much over, but yeah, we're just doing our best to demoralize, I guess. We're just enough for him to actually quit. So we don't want to fight this, we do fall back. And in the south, we have a little bit of an army. Unfortunately, they engaged a little bit and did lose some troops. We do fight this because we only got 4 spearmen. It might have been better to micro that a little bit better. If we don't engage those 4 spearmen, we don't lose. We lose 3 horsemen and a Keshik and 1 manga dive. But I think we might have only lost a couple of horsemen and traded a lot better if we had been able to kite those spears a little bit nicer. Over here, he's pulled a villager or 2. I don't know why I stopped fighting there. Oh, it was a misclick. I clicked over here. Instead of the wall, I clicked behind it. So these guys are running all the way around. So we rallied them. And we start attacking a different wall segment. It never hurts to burn through multiple wall segments. Like if he comes back and he repairs this, we can always come through and burn through this one relatively fast. We know this is army. We know this village is over here. We go for the tower burn down with our Keshiks. There's a Mangadai on their way. And really, the main thing is this tower, in terms of like holding this ground. Now this half damaged wall is super easy to burn through, and we're into his farms, which is gonna hurt a lot because he's suffering on resources heavily. I mean, he's going to 25 villagers, so just to go for this keep drop, we might have been able to like push here, but yeah, it was not a great fight to take. So we fall back because the big thing is on the 2C. And then I didn't realize he canceled this castle. I thought it was just a new castle. I was surprised. And we go for the burn down, but instead of going for the burn down, we should have tried to fight. And unfortunately, our cav is fighting the spearman here, and we should have pulled the cav around the side of the castle and kited with our Mangadai. I think that fight was winnable, but we played it super bad. We let his spearman fight our cavalry, let our Mangadai fight an elephant. So it's just like, it was just really bad. We're just like sitting there watching. So super lazy micro on our part. Behind this, we're just trying to find windows to attack. Just keep raiding. Military count wise, we have the same military size, but our value is still a little bit better than his. So, considering all things considered, he's doing a pretty good job here of holding, even though there's he's on 25 bills, which is pretty nutty. We do have a ton of infrastructure though, so there's pretty much no chance he can ever really push us because we can just crank out so much military units so quickly. Some guys starting to drop a few siege works out so we can deal with his castle. You have to garrison a couple of villagers. You have to deal with this knight. And I think we have rams out. No rams in queue yet. So, but we have a ton of horsemen. All of our stables are working pretty much full blow. I think, yeah, all of them stables are going. There we go. So we're trying to find a raiding angle behind this keep. We were hoping he had chopped through. It's just a bad move, really. I shouldn't have gone up here. I should have just gone tight to this cliff side and try to punch through here. Part of the reason was I thought that was a keep here, so that would have covered this wall. So we're trying to find a way through. There's no way through. We're losing 2 Keshiks, 3 Keshiks for free. and then we realized we can't come through here, so that was a really big mistake on our part. He does pull an army, so we're gonna fall back here, and our main army is over here, and we've also realized that he's got a castle. So at which point this is the food that he desperately needs. He's got deer, he's got a boar, he's got berry patches as belly, so he's in a really good spot. His army sticks a little bit far out from his PC. We're able to wipe that pretty easily. We got Castle Age with Mangadai with upgrades. So running around under TC fire with the Mangadai really, I mean, it's painful, but it's nothing like Feudal Age. You can totally sit under there. We do have a really healthy amount of Mangadai. We got 34 of them. Behind this, we're rallying troops under our gold just in case the chest gets sneaky through the raid and we don't realize. He pulls a ton of villagers through with his ram. 11, and he's got the tech because he's been competent as a defender to make villagers from his keep, and he isn't keeping constant production with his villagers. So, to me, this just shows that we're doing a really good job of harassing him and keeping his APMs occupied. We're able to wipe this army. Unfortunately, with that 31 cav that initiated this fight, 4 survived, so we definitely traded 3, I guess, survived, so we lose 90% of that army. So we were able to clean out his army and idle a bunch of villagers, which is really good. Again, and we've been raiding his base throughout this as well. A couple more rams come through. He's rotating onto the stone. We have another big army. We're sending a ram up there. They're harassing him all over. So these war elephants are really tough to fight in melee. You can see fight them close, like it's pretty hard. So a little bit of a mistake fighting him like that instead of just raiding. We wanted to drop a keep here. He pulled a bunch of villagers to drop a keep, but we raided with some more cav. We're able to dive in, and now we've got 11 Keshiks, a couple more flooding in. At 13, so a few more like what is 6 or 17 total. You can see what how much damage you can do with 17, 18, like 20 knights. They can burn down a keep. Like you're like trading out these units basically. They will die, especially under boiling oil, like it's because. But you can definitely like actually trade under it, which is crazy. So once he loses that, he did try to keep drop my wood line, but I had a bunch of siege nearby. I had Mangonauts in line, I had Keshiks roll, so he gave it his best go and he tapped out. So and then I did a bunch of skirmishes the other day. Unfortunately, the signal has been pretty poor on down here in Peru, so I haven't been able to play the last couple of days. Games have been having like up to 500 like the ping right now is at 138, but it spikes up to like 500 sometimes. So we'll see how it is today. It looked 120, so it looks like it's gonna be decent today. Hopefully, we'll see. I'll give it a go later on tonight. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a couple of games in. I have been testing around with the build order with the Keshik and trade boom behind it. I'm trying to kind of find a really good min max for it. So hopefully, I got a new video for that as well for you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.